Genesis' new Magma sub-brand is staking out its own territory, not by trying to out-end the Hyundai N lineup on raw track aggression, but by promising a more sophisticated, luxe take on high-performance electrified cars. The message from Genesis and its engineers is clear. Magma will be about layered character and refined performance as much as it will be about outright pace. The GV60 Magma that kicked things off shares some hardware DNA with the Ioniq 5N and the Kia EV6 GT, but Genesis says the feeling behind the wheel will be deliberately different. That separation won't be purely skin deep. Genesis plans to give Magma models unique software and tuning that reshape throttle response, traction control, and driving dynamics so the car behaves with a distinct temperament compared with Hyundai's Halo Hot EVS. In short, expect a different personality map under the same sheet metal. Part of the reason Genesis is aiming for a different flavor is organizational. While the GV60 Magma was developed in Korea, the brand says future Magma products will be developed and tuned in Europe by the Hyundai Motor Europe Technical Center near Frankfurt. Tyrone Johnson, the engineer who had a hand in the Focus RS, is leading that effort, which signals Genesis is serious about dialing in a continental driving character and chassis behavior that matches the refined ethos thereafter. Power figures look impressive on paper, like the Ioniq 5N. The GV60 Magma is expected to use twin motors and an 84 kWh pack, with output north of 600 horsepower and sprint times into the low 3-second 0 to 62 miles per hour range. But Genesis pitches that outright peak power isn't the whole story. Weight management, range trade-offs, and software calibration will be balanced so Magma cars feel cohesive and usable, not just loud on paper. That balance is part of what Genesis means when it talks about a more sophisticated performance car. What makes this conversation interesting is the claim that software can now do what mechanical changes used to do on their own. Genesis engineers argue modern cars are shaped as much by control logic and drive mode mapping as by springs and dampers, and Magma will lean on bespoke code to create a unique driver experience. So while the mechanical bones may be shared across corporate siblings, the end result could feel markedly different when you're actually driving. All that said, Magma isn't being billed as a pure track toy. Genesis describes it as a luxurious performance line that can handle a circuit but is just as comfortable delivering composed, everyday performance with a premium interior and tuned ride quality. If Genesis pulls it off, Magma will fill a niche between full-on, track-biased hot cars and the growing number of blunt, high-power EVs, a place for buyers who want excitement wrapped in refinement.